Hello witches, this is Dawn from Aurora Dawn, and thank you for stopping by my channel. Today is September 8th, 2019, and I'm going to talk about whether magic can be dangerous, right? So if you're practicing magic, is there any danger to what you're doing or what you're trying to accomplish? The first thing I want to talk about is that I'm sure you've heard of it. Be careful what you wish for. This is huge, huge, huge. Okay, listen. Be careful what you wish for because you don't always know what you want, what you really truly want. You don't have that in the forefront of your conscious mind. What happens is you will do magic for something that you want to bring into your life, you want to experience. Perhaps it's a romantic partner. Perhaps it's more money or a better job or a better boss or something or other. And what you really want is to feel loved and accepted, and you want to feel safe. And once you address those things, then you can do magic to change your reality. And the reason why I say that is because I know personally from struggling for years and years and years trying to manifest what I want, and it took so frickin' long. And it wasn't until I started doing shadow work that I realized my subconscious toxic beliefs were creating a reality for me that didn't serve me, that was not enjoyable, was full of fear, and I felt not safe, and I was always worrying about what was going to happen next. So once I did my shadow work, then everything changed. Then I realized then I can focus on what it is that I want, and I can actually attract it to me, manifest it into my life. Okay, so a romantic partner, say, is something that you're trying to attract and manifest into your life. But your standards for who you want to bring into your life is way up here. And that's not wrong, that's not bad. But if you're down here, then the universe is going to see your request to bring in somebody this high up. And, the universe is going to say, okay, let's roll up our sleeves. We've got a lot of work to do, a lot of work. And will bring to you opportunities for you to grow even faster. And it's going to be even more intense. So be careful what you wish for. Could be that the universe is going to make your life very, very difficult in order for you to grow and get to that level so that you are an energetic match to the person that you want to bring into your life. Otherwise, if you're still down here, this person's going to look at you and go, and go the other way, because you're still in your ego, you're still a victim, you're still blaming the world, your mother, your brother, whoever, for why you are experiencing the life that you're experiencing. Oh, if I just had more money. Oh, if I just had the right job. Oh, if I fill in the blank. That's all projecting your power outside of your being, yourself. And when you do that, you stay down low vibration. And people up here are like, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in somebody who believes the world is full of magic, and the world is really there to work with us, to be in partnership with us. And we create our reality so we can gain control of our reality and make things happen. Okay, so be careful what you wish for. That can make magic dangerous in a way. And then we have the threefold law. And I'm sure a lot of witches, I'm hearing more and more and more. I'm not Wiccan, I'm just a witch. I'm not Wiccan, I'm not into the Wiccan read and all that. I'm not going to put down the Wiccan read. I think it's very well written and just cool. It's just very cool. And Wicca, the whole tradition and everything was started by Gardner, and I have a little reservations with that. But it's a system. It's a belief system. And really, if it works for you, stay with it. Stay with the system that works for you. So I'm not going to bash anybody's religion. including Christianity. I'm not going to bash it, but I want to say that you need to be more conscious so that you can choose the right system that works for you. There's so many different belief systems out there that you could follow. Just be conscious of what you're getting into and see if it's working for you. If not, then maybe it's time to move on. Give it a chance, and if it's not working, move on. Okay, threefold law is just a poetic way of saying you will reap what you sow. And basically that comes to holding resentment and wishing the other person to be punished. You're punishing yourself by holding that resentment inside your body, inside your mind, and inside your heart. You're doing damage to your being, wishing and hoping the other person will be punished for what they did. In a way, you don't have to wait around for anything to return. You're already doing it to yourself. And I do believe in karma. And karma is just, cause and effect. It's really not about, I know a lot of Hindu yoga people are into practicing good karma in order to burn off bad karma. And I don't see how that works. It doesn't work for me. I feel that the shadow work was the most amazing transformation I ever went through. And it was hard at first, yes, because I had to look at my garbage and deal with it instead of covering it up and calling it something else so I didn't have to deal with it, calling it my mother did this to me, calling it my job is doing this to me, calling it my lack of money is doing this to me. Instead, I faced it head on and realized and surfaced what was behind all of that. And once I healed it and dealt with it, now when it still bubbles up, it still gets triggered, and I realize where it's coming from though, and I can unplug it right away and get it so it's not gnawing away at me all day long. I'm not getting enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't have enough money, I can't have this because I don't have enough money. It just goes on and on, it just gnaws, and it's exhausting, and it's just, you know what I mean. I'm sure you know what I mean. Okay, so the threefold law, yes, karma, what you'll sow, you'll reap what you sow. Yes, that's it, Dawn. Get it straight. All right. So if you're a negative, harmful person, you're a bully, whatnot, you're going to get negative, harmful attention come back at you. Next one I want to talk about is, can practicing magic allow demons to possess you? Now, I am one of the very few witches who actually believes in demons, Satan, the devil, Lucifer. I know what you're thinking, but Dawn, the Christians just made that up. It's a construct of Christianity. It actually dates back even further than Christians. I don't believe that Christianity made up anything. They did not create anything. Everything in their belief system is pretty much plagiarized from other belief systems. I'm not going to put it down. I'm just saying, the devil was around before Christianity was formed, right? So ancient manuscripts talk about demons and, what do they call them? Hungry ghosts and things like that. Just a side note, William Henry is a very cool guy. He's I can't remember, but he's an author, and he's done a lot of teaching. He's DVDs, so you can get his DVDs and binge out on his speaking and talking about ancient discoveries and mythology and whatnot. It's a mind blower. Okay, he really is a mind blower. He talks about the fall. And, the Adam and Eve falling in the garden, they fall and they get kicked out, right? He talks about that fall was descending into the material world, into the physical world. And so I started thinking, well, what was it? A third of the angels fell into earth and became our adversary. I believe maybe there was a contract, an agreement we're going to go down to the physical world too and become your adversary. So to make it more difficult here on the earth. And the reason for that is, if you go to the gym and you just take a 1 pound dumbbell and you yeah, okay, I'm done. You're never going to build muscle. You're never going to lose weight. So when we come here, reincarnate into the earth plane, we are here because we are overachievers and we want to learn and we want to grow. If you're on the other side, back where the angels and the spirit guides and all that are at, it's easy. It's just, everything's easy. You imagine something in your mind, you can create it immediately. We come down here because it's hard and it makes us grow faster. We are overachievers here. All right, so we made an agreement, I think. This is my opinion. I don't know if it's anywhere, if anybody else has talked about it. This is purely came from me. I believe that we have a contract with these fallen angels. They came down with us in order to make life a little bit more difficult. A little bit, a lot. And they screw with us on purpose to make us think and grow, and eventually it becomes more and more difficult for them to interact and mess with our lives as we grow spiritually. All right. So let's get back into this demons possessing us. They are there. I believe they are there. There is a hierarchy. Oh my gosh. There's a book. Okay, I found it. Freeing the Captives. Louise Ireland Frey, MD. So she's a doctor. And she talks about there's a hierarchy. There are bosses in the spirit world, the realm. And this is the lower astral realm. And they, somebody who does not fully cross over, they stay stuck in the astral realm. These bosses, or devils, if you want to call them that, these bosses control and manipulate these spirits that have not crossed over. They're human, they died, and they did not cross over. So she talks about how they manipulate them and control them, and that you have to communicate with the spirit and see if they really want to cross over, and then you can help them cross over. Very interesting book. Now, what I want to get into here is, if you're practicing magic, will you be opening yourself up to demon possession? And I say no. I don't think so. I don't think it's that easy. Really, it's about your intentions and your fear level. Rather than possession, it's easier for a toxic spirit to attach itself to you. And when it does that, it can interfere with your energy and cause illness and cause fear and whatnot, and it feeds off of your emotional energy. So it's important to be working on your shadow work and becoming more and more enlightened, more and more conscious, and more self-confident, and loving yourself more, because when you get to a high enough level, you become not palatable, I'll put it that way, and the spirit will let you go. So I highly recommend you stay away from the Ouija board and from conjuring spirits, unless you've done a lot of and if your consciousness is high enough, you're not going to be interested in conjuring spirits. And the reason for people conjuring spirits is to get them to do things for them. So if you really had it in for your boss, you could conjure up one of these lower astral spirits, and if you learn how to control them, you could actually send them out and hurt somebody. But when you do a lot of shadow work, you don't have that need anymore, because you have the tools to take care of whatever you're feeling about your boss, and to actually manifest a better boss, which I kind of did that. Place that I worked, the office area, had some people in it that were unsavory, that were, I swear to God, this guy was put into position of supervisor, and his head got this big. I'm serious. I mean, he started walking around like this, literally walking around, looking down his nose at people. Literally, who does that? And it's just everybody couldn't stand him, and they had to work with him because he was the supervisor. So I did my little magic, and it took maybe, I don't know, a couple months or so, and he was gone. They shifted him over to another department. Hey, that's great. As long as he's not here. And a few other people, there was a manager in there. It was just, he didn't care. And it was hard to work with, because if it wasn't something for him, he didn't care. He didn't want to do anything to do with it. We needed him to help make decisions. And if he didn't care about the project, he wouldn't make any decisions on it. So got rid of him. And I really feel that shadow work has a big, powerful impact on your life as far as who is impacting your life, who is working with you, who is interfering with your energy, and making them change the way they treat you or they go away. The exception, of course, is a spouse. That's way, way, way more difficult to deal with, and I understand that, and it's something. I don't know. I can't. If you're not willing to leave him, you got to learn how to, or her, it goes both ways. Leave him or leave her. You have to learn how to deal with it and how to let the crap that they're sending you roll off your back. Otherwise, you're just going to get knocked about. All right. So there are, voodoo tradition, where you conjure up what is it called, the Loa. Don't do that. Not unless you know how to do that. I mean, really, truly trained how to conjure up a spirit from a system like voodoo. Because I believe these spirits are real. You don't have to get all caught up in the fear. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get possessed. No, most likely not. I mean, 99% not. But I want you to be aware, just so that you know that if you're an energetic match because your fear is really high, then you're gonna attract spirits. So don't be dealing with spirits. Don't get into lower astral stuff. It's just not necessary. Just call on angels if that's your thing, or deities that are higher level. Something, a deity like the Morgan, probably should stay away from until you are more self-confident and lots of self-love, because some deities can be very tricky, and they will reflect back to you your level of consciousness. So if you're stuck in I'm a victim, they will treat you like a victim. And they will make things happen to reinforce that victimhood, because that's what you're projecting out to them. Okay, something else I want to touch on is hypnotism. How easy is it to hypnotize people? And people are so easy to influence, to hypnotize, to get them to believe certain thing. Look at all the fake news that came out in 2016, 2017 during the election period, right? Remember that? I got sucked into it at the beginning, and then I started realizing what was going on. It was sucking people in and causing people to start being so ugly to each other. And I realized that, this is just stirring the pot. And a lot of this stuff is based on twisted, misunderstood information. Even the mainstream media was doing it, and it's just freaking me out. Where are we going? We're just sinking down to a very low level. So it's important to be conscious, recognize the emotions that are coming up when you read something, and decide, is this, these are uncomfortable emotions that are coming up. Is this a good thing for me to be getting caught up in? And I understand standing up for your rights. Yes, that is good. Demonstrate, that is good. It's powerful. But when we get into the viciousness in words, as well as physically being vicious towards each other, then we're going down a slippery slope. Nobody respects that. I am not going to change my mind because you're calling me stupid. I am not going to change my mind just because you think what I believe in is childish or dumb. I'm not thinking for myself. I don't care what you think about me. If you come across vicious, if you call me names, I'm not going to change my opinion. Now, if you're respectful and say, hey, have you ever thought of this? And gave me your opinion, I am all for that. And I have changed my opinion just by looking at other people's posts on Facebook. Now, some people don't like Facebook. I'm into Facebook because I get to see other points of view and I get to see different opinions. And wow, it makes a difference. You have to be open though. So because we're so easily influenced, magic can be dangerous in that respect, because one person practicing magic on another who's easily influenced by, clickbait and fake news and stuff like that, the person casting the curse on that person who's a sheeple, I call them sheeple, they're going to be easy to manipulate through magic. So magic can be dangerous that way on the recipient end of it. Okay. So yeah, I call it fear porn. The sky is falling. We're coming to the end of the world. The government is just trying to make situations happen with these serial killing and the mass shootings and stuff like that, so that they can have an excuse to take our guns away. And I don't know, maybe that's true, but if you focus on that, it's the sky is falling, it's fear porn, and it's going to get you caught up in that energy, and you can't move. You can't go forward. You can't stay focused on your shadow work, making yourself a better person, doing things that make you feel good, and loving yourself, nurturing your own emotional needs, and processing your emotions so that you don't get hung up in worry, or angry, or I'm hurt. Deal with the emotions by, yes, validating they are there for a reason, but you don't need them to fester in your being. So process them, flush them out, nurture your emotional needs, and then look at what is making me feel so uncomfortable. And then you can deal with it in an unbiased way. Your ego gets in there and makes it look like a whole different situation, like everything is everybody else's fault, or it's all your fault. You're dumb, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you can't do anything right. Okay, so it keeps you stuck in victimhood. If you take control of your own power, you can overcome all of that. Okay, so what's the answer? Know yourself. Know thyself. Know yourself so you can stay conscious. Know your toxic beliefs. So when they get triggered, you can say, hey, that's one of my toxic beliefs. And that's connected to when I was 3 years old and my mom and dad left me at the playground and they forgot about me. And I felt abandoned, and I learned that I need to be abandoned. Then you can unplug that. But that's not true, because now I'm an adult and I choose where I'm going to be. And if somebody decides they don't want to be with me, then I'm going to need to let them go. And I'm going to do that instead of feeling abandoned. So once you're conscious by doing shadow work, you can more easily, sometimes it's tough. I know, it's really, really hard. But it makes it easier when you're loving yourself and you're overflowing with love for yourself. Okay? And this is what keeps you safe from magic going wrong. This is what keeps you safe. Just in case you use words in your incantation that ends up bringing to you what you don't want. And what I always do is for my highest good. May it do no harm. And may it bless all the hands of those who are involved in bringing it to me. This or better come to me. These words will help to protect you from any unforeseen bounce back. But also, if you're in a place of loving yourself, then you're not an energetic match to the horrible things that could happen with your magic. Okay? So I hope this is helpful, and thank you for watching. And please, please, please leave me comments and let me know how you feel about what I just said about this topic, even if you don't agree with me, because that helps me grow. All right? So that's all for now. Do something today that makes you feel good, and until next time, blessed be.